Ladies and gentlemen, let me share a principle with you that can shape the way you see every day of your life. It's not about grand gestures or massive leaps. It's about steady, consistent progress. Imagine just for a moment, what would happen if every single day you improved by just 1%? Not 10, not 20, just 1. It seems small, doesn't it? Almost insignificant. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. It's in that 1% where the magic begins. You see, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the beauty of that is, in a marathon, you don't need to be the fastest runner, you just need to keep moving forward. Each step, no matter how small, gets you closer to the finish line. This principle of incremental improvement isn't just theory, it's a way of life. And those who embrace it will find themselves achieving things they never thought possible. Imagine your goals as a mountain. Looking up at the peak can be intimidating. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the distance, the effort, the obstacles. But what if, instead of focusing on the peak, you focused on the next step? What if you told yourself, today I'll climb just a little higher than yesterday? That's what improving by 1% looks like. It's taking one more step. It's saying, I'll read one more page, make one more call, learn one more thing. Here's the remarkable thing, 1% may seem small, but it compounds. Just like money in a savings account, those small, consistent gains start to add up. After a week, you might not notice much. After a month, it starts to show. After a year, the difference is undeniable. That's the power of consistency. That's the power of 1%. But let's not forget the flip side. Just as small positive changes compound, so do small negative ones. Neglect is easy. Skipping one workout, eating one unhealthy meal, procrastinating on one task, none of these seem like a big deal in the moment. But string enough of them together and suddenly you're sliding backward. Life is always moving, there's no standing still. You're either growing or you're declining. The question is, which direction are your daily choices taking you? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, 1%? That's nothing. I need results now, but let me tell you something about instant results. They're like fireworks, flashy, exciting, but short-lived. Real growth, the kind that lasts, is like building a fire. You start with small sparks, small kindling, and you build it piece by piece. It takes patience. It takes persistence. But once that fire catches, it burns steady and strong. Let's talk about effort. Effort is the great equalizer. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to have the most talent, the most connections, or the most resources. What you need is the willingness to put in the work day in, day out. The willingness to say, today, I'll be a little better than yesterday. Success doesn't come from doing extraordinary things. It comes from doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Here's a truth about life. It's not the big things that define us. It's the small ones. It's our habits, our routines, our mindset. Think about the people you admire most. Their success didn't happen overnight. It was built brick by brick, 1% at a time. And guess what? You have that same opportunity. Every single day you wake up with a choice. You can choose to be better, to do better, to grow. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Let me share something personal. There was a time in my life when I felt stuck. I had big dreams, but they seemed so far out of reach. I was looking for a breakthrough, some massive change that would catapult me to success. But it never came. What came instead was the realization that I didn't need a breakthrough. What I needed was a better approach. I started focusing on the little things, the daily habits, the small wins. And slowly but surely things began to change. Not overnight, but over time. And that's the key, over time. Discipline plays a big role in this. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's what keeps you going when the excitement fades, when the results aren't immediate, when the journey feels long. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Because every time you show up, every time you put in the effort, you're making a deposit in the bank of your future. Now, I want you to think about where you are today. Think about your strengths, your weaknesses, your goals, and then ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to be better than I was yesterday? Just one thing. Maybe it's reading a book, making a phone call, learning a new skill, or even just thinking a little more positively. Whatever it is, do it, and then do it again tomorrow. And the day after that, it's not about doing everything at once, it's about doing something every day. Here's another truth: you don't need anyone's permission to improve. You don't need to wait for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right circumstances. The right time is now. The right opportunity is today. And the right circumstances? You create them by taking action. Don't wait for life to hand you success. Go out and earn it, one step at a time. I'll leave you with this thought: greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. It's not about being born with special gifts or talents. It's about what you do with what you have. It's about the choices you make, the habits you build, and the effort you put in. Every single one of us has the potential for greatness, but potential means nothing without action. So take action. Improve by 1%. And then watch as that 1% turns into 2, then 10, then 100. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a journey. And the journey is made up of countless small steps. So start today. Take that step. Be better, do better, live better, 1% at a time. And before you know it, you'll look back and see just how far you've come. And that, my friends, is the power of improving 1% every day.